Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. So today in this session, I want to demonstrate how to create digital portfolio in Adobe Express and export to Behance. Okay, so let's get started. First, you need to open up Behance account. Okay, so let's go to your web browser and type Behance. Alright, so once you visit the Behance page, you will need to sign in. Okay, on the right hand side you will see sign in. Okay, so you can sign in with your HCT ID or you can use your personal email. This is up to you. Okay, let's use my Gmail. So you can go here, okay, in this icon, and then you click on Behance profile. Alright, so this is where you will upload the files that you create in Adobe Express project. Then you can see that in Behance it will need the image file. Okay, right, so let's go to Adobe Express. So with Adobe Express you can log in with your HCT ID. So once you are inside Adobe Express, you can see that this are the layout. Right, so here on the right hand side you have this plus icon. So if you click here, you can create a custom size. So for the custom size, I want you guys to refer to this portfolio development brief. Okay, and you will find that the size will be 1920 pixel, but then the height will depends on how long is your information. Okay, so let's start with 1920 as the width, and I just want to remain the height 2560. Right, before you get started with Adobe Express, it's a good practice if you find references from Behance itself. Okay, so if I go back to my Behance, alright, I can go to Explore. Okay, this is an Explore, and if you type graphic design, let's see, visual identity. So here you can have lots of ideas from another designer how to arrange your information, what are the best layout for the whole information that you have about your capstone. Okay, so let's see this one. Right, see that this is one of clean design that we can use. Okay, so if you look at the first page, this is just empty. Alright, there is no background image, and it has this text, portfolio, the year and name. So I want to have the same, just like a plain, no background, but then I have one text in the middle. Okay, so for the text, if I scroll down, I can find a lot of styles that I can use as a title. Okay, so let's see, we can use this one. Right, so that would be my first section. Okay, right, and then the second section, you can see that this is the image, and then there are some like tagline about yourself and some of the content. So let's use this image. You can just drag and drop, and if I want to modify this image, I can go to this menu. Okay, if I go to the position, I can flip this. Okay, so that I can have somewhere here, and I keep looking at my references so I know how should I build up everything. Right, And I can also crop this image if I think it's too big. So I need to add a tag. So if I go here, okay, I can just go back and choose body tags. Okay, right. Right, and then in here, I want to have information about me, because if you look at the brief, you will need to add information about the project title, the concentration, and you know, which campuses you are belong to. Okay, right. So if I go to tags and I add one more in here, okay, so that will be the first. And apart from that, I want to use some icon. So if I go to add content, I can add icons in here from the elements, and you can tap on icon. So if you scroll down, you will find technology, and I can view all, right? And I can use maybe this one, and you can resize this, click inside, and I can change this fill to colors based on your brand identity, for example, right? So now if I highlight everything, and I can just group this, so let's say if I want to cut this white area, I can use crop page, okay, and I can just cut this off, but make sure that you look at the width and height. The width should be maintained with 1920, and the height is depending on how long is your information. So when you are done, you just press done. So these are the first page. All right, and I can just move this a little bit up. So now if I download this, I can download as PNG. Right, then after that, if you go to your Behance, this is where you can upload the image. Right, so let's say on the second page you have a video. Okay, so I can just hover in here, and I can see this floating box, or you can also click from here to add a video. All right, so let's say this is my second asset, which is the animation. Right, it will take time, a few minutes or up to a few hours, depending on the file size. Right, so now let's move to the third section. Okay, so let's say in the third section where I want to start adding all the visual assets from my design. So here I can add page with the same size, right? And then my second asset will be all the mockups. So I can just add this in here, and you can download this and save it as the second section. Right, and then go back to your Behance, and you can start to upload the second one. So again, if you hover at the bottom, you can see insert media. So you can choose the second section. right? So now if I preview, okay, I can see how does it look like, you know, from the Behance page, but the video is still not uploading. This will take time, and you can just close and it will go back to your Behance. Right, so once we are done with placing all the images from Express to Behance, you can click continue. So this is where you add all the information about your project. So give a title, okay, some tagline, this is up to you, and the category will be based on your concentration or anything that relates in this checkbox. You can choose it, right, and then you can publish. Right, so this is how it will look like from the Behance. Okay, you have the first section, the title, and then information about you. Alright, this is the video. And your mockups or anything that relate from your capstone assignment. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all. Thank you very much, and make sure that you copy this link. Okay, this is where you will need to share this link and give the link to your capstone mentor. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.